All right, so I'm pretty sure that everyone at some point in their lifetime has been involved in a fight. And if you haven't, then hey, you're part of the 1% that has probably been inducted into the Unicorn Club. But for everyone else, the one thing that you don't want to happen if you're ever involved in a fight is for the police to get called. Because at the end of the day, if the police come to a location or a scene where a fight just occurred and you're there and you're involved, you're likely going to get arrested. So let me talk to the people who have been involved in a fight and maybe were arrested. It could be a situation where you were defending a loved one. Let's say someone was trying to be physically aggressive towards them and you decided to defend your friend, your loved one, your significant other, and you got into a fight. It could be a situation where it was a bar fight and things got out of hand. In other situations, sometimes people are disrespectful. They talk about your family or they talk about your mama and hey, couldn't control your feelings and you threw a punch and that's where you ended up. Whatever the situation may be, if you are now in a situation where you're in court and you're charged with an assault charge, there are a couple things that you're going to need to know as you navigate through your case. What I've done is I've compiled a list of 3 things that you'll need to know if you're ever charged with an assault charge. So here we go. The first thing that you'll need to know is that your prior record matters. Typically, when you're charged with an assault charge, the prosecutor is going to be looking at your prior criminal history, what you've been arrested for, and what you have been convicted of, meaning if you've pled guilty to something or if you've been found guilty of something. So if you have other charges that are on your record or that you've been arrested for that includes some assault level type of charges, the prosecutor is going to take that into consideration when deciding what they're going to do with your case. So you're definitely not going to want to have any other prior assault charges on your record of any kind, and you certainly don't want anything of a domestic violence nature on your record as well. Another thing that a prosecutor is going to look at is if you have a felony record. So do you have prior serious offenses on your record as well? So understand that with regard to what happens in this case, in this assault case, your prior record absolutely will matter and it will determine what happens in your case and potentially what you're sentenced to as well. Now, to the extent that you do have prior assault charges on your record, I'm going to talk about what you can do about that in just a second. Now, the second thing that you need to know is that there are usually first-time offender programs for people who don't have much of a record. So if you don't have much of a record, look into what first-time offender programs may exist in your state or your jurisdiction. Oftentimes, you may be allowed to do classes for a dismissal. Other times, you may be allowed to do community service for a dismissal. Those are the 2 most common first-time offender programs. Every state has their own type of classes or programs that they may offer, but those are 2 very common types of first-time offender programs. But again, check with your attorney to find out what programs may exist in your state or jurisdiction. The third thing that's going to be really important, whether or not you have a criminal record, is that it's going to be extremely important for you to take proactive steps as soon as possible. And what I mean by that, especially for people who do have a criminal record, is that you're going to have to position yourself in a way that a prosecutor can see you as someone who is truly remorseful for their actions. What every attorney says is, can my client have a good plea deal, or can my client have a program so that they can get a dismissal? My client is really, really sorry and they won't do it again. That's what every attorney says. But the way that you can stand out from the fold is to show the prosecutor that you truly are sorry and that you truly are remorseful for your actions. And that's by taking proactive steps. So for example, if your situation involved a bar fight and alcohol or drugs was involved, right? What you'll want to do is take drug and alcohol classes to show the prosecutor that, look, you are remorseful, you understand that maybe you might have a problem here, and you're taking these proactive steps to show that drugs or alcohol, whatever the situation may be, is no longer going to be an issue. And that's how you know you won't get involved in this situation again. Or it could be a situation where perhaps you just couldn't control your emotions. And so maybe what you may want to do is take anger management courses, right? So showing the prosecutor that, hey, look, although you haven't been offered a plea deal yet or nothing has really transpired in your case, the fact that you're starting so soon to take your own anger management courses and you're able to come to court and show, hey, I have this letter that says I'm taking 12 classes and I'm halfway through those classes. It makes a big deal, right? It shows that you are truly sorry for what you did, you're truly remorseful, and that you are taking proactive steps to make a change in your life so that this kind of situation doesn't happen again. While nothing is guaranteed, a prosecutor is more inclined to kind of pause in their tracks and take a look at your case to see if they can maybe offer you something that they typically won't offer someone in your particular situation or in your circumstances. Let's say you have a history of cases where you previously were charged with an assault. What did you do in those situations? How can you show that this time is going to be different? So if you take proactive steps to either remedy or fix the things that caused you to get involved in that particular crime, here in this particular case, assault, a prosecutor is more inclined to look at your case a little bit more favorably than they would the typical person that comes before the court. So those are three important things that are really important for you to know if you're ever charged with an assault charge. So I hope that's helpful to you. And if you have any other questions about assault charges, feel free to comment them below, and I'm always happy to answer them for you. And as always, stay safe. I'll see you soon.